Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about why the Pelicans could potentially be the next super team. Now, before you get into this video or before you dislike it or anything like that and think I'm crazy for saying this, I agree with you. I don't think the Pelicans are the next super team, or at least they're not a super team yet. And this is basically a series that I do every single year in every single offseason, pretty much once free agency has mainly died down and the trades have gone through, the draft already happened and free agency is done, and we're getting closer and closer to the end of the offseason. I start going through every team and start highlighting the biggest strengths of every team in the NBA, and the super team thing is just how I title these type of videos. So if you've been with the channel long enough, you'll be familiar with this, but if you are new, I could see how these type of videos could be kind of confusing, so that is pretty much why it is called this. And in this video is basically me going to be going over the biggest strengths of the Pelicans and why I think that they are going to be decent next year. I just made this type of video on the Chicago Bulls just a few days ago, so if you're interested in that, go look at that video as well. But for this one, we're going to be going over the New Orleans Pelicans. So if you do like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. That would mean the absolute world to me. But without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so my first reason is going to be that they are getting a completely fresh start, and this fresh start actually seems like it is going to help the team in a long way, as they pretty much have a fresh face in almost every aspect of the team, despite their superstar level players or their star level players, which is exactly what you want for a team that really looked like they needed an infusion of energy and effort onto the team. I think they're definitely going to get this, as they just got a new backcourt now, Devontae Graham and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, both of which will be new starters for the Pelicans this season, and that is also showing because Devontae Graham wasn't even on the roster last year. So I mean, I think for sure that backcourt is going to definitely have more of energy with it, as Eric Bledsoe last year just did not want to be on the team, and it was deathly obvious if you ever watched any Pelicans games. And then Lonzo Ball looks like he was already had one foot out of the door midway through the season, and now with them both being here, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a competitor. He wants to play. He's a young guy. He wants to prove it, so he's going to play hard. Devontae Graham, all the energy he's been showing in all the interviews, Instagram posts, everything like that, he has shown that he is hyped and ready to play for New Orleans. So it looks like they're going to have a new infused, high effort, high energy backcourt that wants to be on the team and is going to play hard for New Orleans and wants to be there. And that is a huge step up from where they were at last year, because although they may have been a more talented backcourt last year, Bledsoe had no interest of playing for New Orleans, and Lonzo Ball, when it got to around midway through the season and it looked like we weren't going to make the playoffs, you could tell Lonzo kind of stopped caring as much and started playing for himself more than playing for the team. So I think for sure this fresh start in the backcourt could help a ton for the New Orleans Pelicans. And then also they got fresh starts in other areas like the center position in Jonas Valanciunas, and I think that's going to help a ton because Jonas Valanciunas is not only a much better fit than Steven Adams, but he also has shown some kind of glimmers of wanting to play for him, and he's also going to help with Zion Williamson, because this is going to be Zion's first time ever in the NBA playing with a center that can actually somewhat spread the floor. Now, although Jonas Valanciunas isn't on the levels of like Kristaps Porzingis, Nikola Jokic, or Karl Anthony Towns of spreading the floor and being able to hit the three ball from the center position, but he is still very above average, and he can do everything a normal center needs to do. He's a good rim protector, he can grab boards, and he's just a very solid presence in the paint defensively. And then offensively, like I said, he can still occasionally go out past the three-point line and hit a shot if you leave him open, at least enough to make teams have to respect it and have to go after it. And that's going to make Zion even more dominant now that Jonas Valanciunas is going to be able to spread the floor, and he doesn't have to always constantly worry about getting triple teamed or even quadruple teamed the second he goes in the lane, as the other team's center is now going to have to at least be one step out of the paint, which is going to help Zion a ton with how fast and explosive he is. Because if he was able to do what he did last year, great efficiency on 24 points a game, playing extremely good, if he was able to do that last year with Steven Adams on the team, where he was constantly getting double teamed by the other team center every time he drove in the paint, now when there's a 50-50 chance that the center is even going to be able to contest the shot, that is going to make Zion even that more scary and even that more dominant, and it could be very fun to watch next year with the better fit with Jonas Valanciunas. And then also the head coaching change in Willie Green, it became extremely apparent about really the second they hired Stan Van Gundy that the players just didn't really gel with him. There were reports Ingram didn't like him, Lonzo didn't like him, Zion didn't like him, and they just weren't getting along, and they didn't agree with each other. And all you hear about Willie Green, the new head coach, is that players respect him and players want to play for him. And we have seen that throughout the league and throughout the summer league, as the Pelicans summer league team is playing extremely hard, and they have a couple players that will make the roster next year for this team. So for sure, that is a great sign that Willie Green has got the summer league team playing hard and looking like they actually want to play defense and try to win some games this season. Because with Van Gundy, the team just wasn't motivated, they weren't energized, and hopefully with Willie Green, with all the good things that people around the league are saying and other players are saying about him, hopefully they can buy in and he can get this team to finally fulfill the talent that it has, play defense, play offense, and really get it going. Because the talent on this roster is more than enough to make the playoffs. It just hasn't been found yet, and hopefully Willie Green can help open that up. Now, my second reason is going to be they have Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson on the team. Like, just think about that. Brandon Ingram is an all-star level player. He's made an all-star game. He's an all-star level scorer for sure. One of the better scorers in the NBA. And then you have Zion Williamson, an up-and-coming superstar. So you have two at least all-star players and one all-star and one superstar. That is a legitimate big two on your roster. That should be enough with the supporting cast they have to make the playoffs. And when you have those two on your team, you can be a scary team. When you have a superstar and an all-star at the wing position and at a power forward position, and he's one of the most dominant players in the league in only his third year, that is enough to make the playoffs. And if they can keep developing chemistry, keep getting better together, and can get to where they can really thrive off each other while playing on the same time on the court, they could be an extremely scary duo. And if they can fulfill their potential and play together at an elite level like I know they can, this team could be very scary. Now, that is hoping Willie Green can help them fulfill that potential and get that ball rolling, because as of right now, every time they're on the court, yes, they're still good individual players, but they never thrive off of each other. It's very rare you see them do that, and usually they play better when one's on the bench and one's on the court, which you cannot have with your two stars. So hopefully Willie Green can get a system going, get their chemistry flowing to where they're actually on the same page and can actually thrive off each other, because that would make that team even more scary and could make them one of the better duos in the entire league. And then also my last reason, this is going to be Zion's first year where he's actually set up for success. And what I mean by that is that they have a team that can legitimately help play to his strengths. Brandon Ingram is a borderline all-star or an all-star level player, kind of trying to get to that superstar level still, that can literally score anytime in ISO and is one of the best ISO players in the league. So that's already taking a ton of pressure off of Zion. And now I don't care what you say. Yes, Lonzo Ball might be the better player, but Devontae Graham is a better scorer and a better offensive player than Lonzo Ball. Now, I'm not saying he's a better player, but he is a better offensive player. So that's also going to be able to help take some pressure off Zion when it comes to the scoring end, and when it comes to defenses being able to fully focus on stopping Zion Williamson. And then also Nickeil Alexander-Walker, if he fulfills the scoring potential that dude has, and he could also be an all-star in a perfect scenario for this team, Nickeil Alexander-Walker could also go an extremely long way to helping take pressure off of Zion. And then also Giannis Valanciunas is able to spread the floor. So this is the first time in Zion's career there's legitimately a team around him that plays to his strengths. He has shooters on the court, he has players to spread the floor at the big man positions, and he has players that can make their own shots, and other teams have to game plan and focus on, and they can't just focus on stopping Zion from driving in the paint. They can't do that, or the other players will beat them. So I do think that this team will probably be the best fit for Zion that he has seen so far in his entire career. So you could probably expect an even more dominant season than he already had in just his second season in the NBA. So I think his third season is going to be even bigger than his second one. I think Ingram should be able to develop a little bit more and maybe get a little bit better, and hopefully they can be more comfortable playing with each other. And then hopefully this fresh start can ignite this young Pelicans team. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think the Pelicans will be the next super team? Do you think these are your strengths? Do you think I'm missing anything in the comment section below? Comment all that. I want to hear our thoughts, any opinions, like I said, in the comment section. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. That would mean the absolute world to me. And I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.